They told my kids to watch their cousin's birthday on a live stream, so I took them to Disneyland instead and exposed the family's hypocrisy to everyone. I'm 34 and have two kids, Lily, who's 9, and Max, who's 7. My sister Rachel, who's 32, has two kids too, Sophie, who's 8, and Ethan, who's 6. The dynamics in our family have always felt off. My parents go out of their way for Rachel and her kids, while mine seem to be an afterthought. Things really hit a boiling point last week when Sophie had her birthday. I texted my mom to check what time I should drop off Lily and Max, and she casually said, "Oh, they can just watch the birthday live stream. It'll be simpler for everyone." At first, I thought she must have made a typo, but then Rachel jumped in, unapologetically saying my kids stress Sophie out because they get too loud. "It'd be better this way," she insisted. I sat there, staring at my phone, feeling shaken. My kids aren't bad, they are just lively, typical kids. To hear them labeled as a negative impact broke my heart. When I told Lily and Max they weren't invited, they both fell silent in that way kids do when they're holding back tears. That's when I decided, if my kids weren't welcome, we wouldn't be sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves while everyone else had a good time. I bought last-minute tickets to Disneyland. It was pricey, but worth it to watch their faces light up when I told them. While we were enjoying Dumbo and munching on churros, I snapped a pic of Lily and Max in their Mickey ears and shared it on my private Instagram. I meant it just for close friends, but I forgot Rachel still followed me. Not even 20 minutes later, my phone was blowing up with missed calls and texts from both Rachel and my mom.
"Where are you?
Why didn't you bring Sophie and Ethan? You're so selfish. You should have told us you were taking them." It turned out Rachel thought I'd still be there for her kids, just not let mine be part of it. I let out a bitter laugh and replied, "They can watch our fun on the live stream." Just like that, the messages switched from anger to trying to bargain. Suddenly, Lily and Max weren't a negative impact anymore. Suddenly, we were missed. The next morning, I woke up to 37 unread messages. Most were from Rachel, but a few were from my mom too. They all had the same tone, indignant, outrage dressed up as guilt. Rachel said I should have at least brought Ethan since he's been itching to go to Disneyland for ages. "Do you even realize how selfish this looks?" Mom chimed in, being her usual enabler. "Honey, I know you're upset, but family should come first. Think of the kids." I nearly hurled my phone across the hotel room. Think of the kids? The same ones who weren't welcome at Sophie's birthday just a day earlier? Meanwhile, Lily and Max were sprawled out on the hotel bed, still wearing their Mickey ears, giggling about which rides they wanted to do again. They looked so happy and free, and I wasn't going to let my mom or Rachel ruin that. When I didn't reply, Rachel ramped up the pressure. She called me 4 times in a row. On the 5th call, I finally picked up. "Rachel," I said, "you made it clear yesterday that my kids weren't welcome at family events. So, why would I drag them to your daughter's birthday after that?" She huffed, saying it was different because Sophie gets overstimulated at parties, but Disneyland is fun. I should have considered my niece and nephew. I actually laughed at that. So, my kids are too much for Sophie, but not too much for free Disneyland babysitting? There was silence on the line, and then Rachel muttered something about me being vindictive before hanging up. Not 5 minutes later, my mom called, saying the same thing. "Why are you punishing Rachel's kids? They're innocent in this." I finally snapped. "No, Mom. What's innocent is Lily and Max crying last night because they weren't wanted at their cousin's party. They're the ones who deserve better, so don't twist this on me." Mom went quiet for a moment, then sighed, as if I were the unreasonable one. "You'll regret this someday." But when I hung up and turned to see my kids excitedly planning which Disney parade to watch, I felt no regret. For the first time, I realized that maybe the only way to protect my kids from being treated like second-class family was to stop showing up altogether. A few days after returning from Disneyland, I received an email from my mom with the subject line, "Let's put this behind us." She basically invited me to what she called a family meeting at her house, making it clear I needed to bring Lily and Max. She even added, "Rachel and I talked, and we both think the kids should make up and move forward as cousins." The nerve of her, as if my kids had done anything wrong. I ignored the email, But then the texts started pouring in. Rachel claimed Sophie had been miserable ever since seeing the Disney photos, and that it was my responsibility to fix it. Mom added that if I didn't show up, it would look bad to the rest of the family. That was interesting because they'd made sure to keep this whole situation hush-hush. No one else in the family even knew my kids were excluded from Sophie's party. So I decided to reveal the truth. Instead of replying privately, I forwarded my mom's email word for word to our extended family group chat. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone. I added one line. For context, this is after Rachel and Mom told Lily and Max they weren't welcome at Sophie's birthday party because they are a negative impact. Just so everyone understands why I won't be attending. Within minutes, the group chat exploded. My cousin Jenna was the first to message. Wait, what? They excluded your kids from the party. An uncle chimed in. That's cruel. Kids shouldn't be treated like that. Even Rachel's husband Mark awkwardly added, I didn't agree with how that was handled. Rachel went into damage control mode, saying it was a misunderstanding because Sophie gets overwhelmed easily and they were just trying to protect her experience. But the problem with lies is they seem weaker when exposed to the light. The chat wasn't buying it. More cousins began asking pointed questions and one even said, sounds like you only care when you miss out on free babysitting. Rachel went quiet after that. My mom tried to scold me in private, saying I didn't need to air family business like that. But the damage was done. For once, Rachel and Mom weren't controlling the narrative. People saw my kids for who they really were, innocent children being treated unfairly. And I'll admit, it felt good. But I knew Rachel wouldn't let this slide. She hated losing control. After the group chat incident, Rachel went radio silent for a week. My mom kept sending guilt-laden reminders like, family is all we have. Don't let one mistake ruin everything. But I ignored her. Then one Saturday afternoon, Rachel showed up at my door with Sophie and Ethan, clutching gift bags. She wore a forced smile that didn't reach her eyes. Can we come in? She asked. Instead, I stepped outside. What do you need, Rachel? She sighed dramatically, saying, look, maybe I overreacted with the birthday thing. But Sophie misses her cousins, and the kids shouldn't suffer because of adult drama. I glanced back at Lily and Max, who peeked from behind me, looking wary, hurt, but curious. Rachel handed me a gift bag. Inside was a cheap Disney keychain, the kind you'd find at a gas station near the park. We thought this might be a peace offering, she said. I nearly laughed. After calling my kids a negative impact, this is what she brought? Rachel, I said slowly, you didn't just overreact. You excluded my kids from their cousin's birthday. You told them they weren't wanted. That's not something you fix with a keychain. Her expression hardened. So what? You're just going to cut us off over one mistake. One mistake. I snapped. This is nothing new. You and Mom have treated my kids like they don't matter for years. The only reason you care now is because the rest of the family finally saw it. She flinched at my words, then muttered, fine, if that's how you want it, and stormed back to her car with the kids following behind. Later that evening, my phone buzzed with a message from my mom saying, Rachel tried. You need to meet her halfway. I stared at it for a long moment before replying. I already did. I protected my kids. Then I muted both my mom and Rachel's numbers. That night, Lily snuggled up next to me on the couch and whispered, Mom, are we really not going back to Grandma's anymore? I hugged her tight. Not unless people there treat you the way you deserve to be treated. She thought for a moment and then smiled. That's okay. I like Disneyland better anyway. In that moment, I realized I wasn't losing family. I was choosing peace for myself, for Lily, and for Max. Honestly, we've never been happier. Update. It's been about 6 months since I muted Rachel and my mom, and it's been peaceful. Lily and Max are thriving. We've gone on more little adventures, explored new hobbies, and I finally feel like I can make decisions based on what's best for my kids, not what pleases the family. Interestingly, the family dynamic shifted in ways I didn't expect. Extended family members who used to stay quiet have started reaching out more, wanting to spend time with my kids. They see me as the parent who stands up for her children, and it's been validating in ways I never imagined. As for Rachel and my mom, They've texted occasionally, but I don't respond. Each time I consider it, I remember how Lily and Max felt when they realized their feelings actually mattered. That's enough for me. Just the other day, Lily asked, "Mom, can we create our own holiday traditions? Ones where everyone actually wants to be with us." I smiled so wide I almost cried, and that's exactly what we're doing. Disneyland, backyard movie nights, pizza, and pajama Sundays. Whatever makes us happy. Honestly, I don't miss the drama at all. Standing up for my kids wasn't easy, and it wasn't always painless. But seeing them feel safe, loved, and wanted makes it all worthwhile. For anyone facing toxic family dynamics, here's what I can say. Sometimes, choosing peace is the bravest thing you can do. And sometimes, it's just what your kids need most.